Hey guys, Tonight Marine here with another video for you. Today, going to be talking about, we're going to be giving some wrestling tips. Just be advised, I'm not a fucking amazing wrestler. I've wrestled with some amazing wrestlers. Guys who've won state and national championships. One of the girls that was on our team, she's amazingly good. If it weren't for her knee, she's always had knee issues. If it weren't for that, she would have been in the Olympics 2 Olympics ago, and probably this one. But the next Summer Olympics. Obviously, they don't wrestle during the Winter Olympics. And then she's wrestled with some of the best in the world. Cael Sanderson. The guy who took bronze and the guy who took, I want to say silver in the last Olympics. Maybe it was the one before that. But either way, I've had the chance to wrestle with some very outstanding people. Wrestling is a mind game. You have to want it more than the person you're wrestling. If you want it more, chances are you're going to win. Especially if it comes down to even skill, even conditioning. If you want it more than them, you're going to get it. The thing that our wrestling coach is really big on when I was wrestling is conditioning. We fucking conditioned so much it killed the soul. We literally would come into school at about 5:30 in the morning every day of the week during wrestling season, and we would do conditioning. We would do wind sprints. We would go out, usually run a couple miles first, and then go into the gym and do just wind sprints until we were ready to pass out. And then we would go to class, do our school thing, and after school would be the actual practice. And so we would... What was that? Oh. And so we would do our practice, and at the end of the practice, we would fucking do more conditioning. More sprints, stuff like that. Conditioning is absolutely huge. If you can get in absolutely amazing shape, you will win, and your skills, like your ability to actually wrestle, are anywhere decent. You will be able to beat anybody because you can last longer than they can, and if you can last longer than they can, then you're doing something right. Because a lot of guys go 110% right when the ref blows the whistle when the match starts, and they gas themselves out relatively quickly. Most guys are done by the end of the first round. They're just fucking fighting from there, and they're just struggling to hang on from that point on. And so if you can figure that out, and you can let's go there, and you can outlast them, chances are you're going to win. We never lost. None of our guys ever lost a match because we were out of shape or we were tired. If we lost, it was because the person was legitimately better than us, which is how it should be. It really shouldn't come down to your conditioning. But a lot of times it does, because in high school, there are kids that are just absolutely crazy and hardcore about it, but the majority of them aren't. They're there because they enjoy doing it. It's a sport, and that's just the sport they picked, and so they're not necessarily going to be in the tip-top shape. And if you can have the discipline to get yourself to that tip-top shape, that's going to help you so much, I promise you. There was quite a few matches I had where I never even broke a sweat during a match. You just go into it fucking with that confidence and just knowing that you're going to fucking be good when you're in shape. Because for me, before my very first match ever was kind of a jip. I'll tell you about it. I was in decent shape, but I wasn't quite at that tip-top shape, and so I was worried. I was nervous about gassing out because I mean, that sucks to lose because you're just too tired to keep doing anything else. But my first fucking match, I don't know how the kid didn't get disqualified. It still pisses me off to this day. But I'd never actually been in a full-on wrestling match. We'd done plenty of it in practice, but practice is practice. It's not the same. And this fucking kid, we went out on the mat. The ref, did his spiel, and then we shook hands, and ref blew the whistle, and the kid just fucking decked me right across the face. Hit me right in the nose, and hit me just right to cause me to fucking start bleeding. And I don't bleed. Like, I've been hit in the face plenty of times. I just don't bleed. But for some reason, the way this kid hit me, I bled everywhere. I used up all my blood time, and I was on injury time. And I used up almost all my injury time as well. And because the bleeding would just not fucking stop. But the ref didn't disqualify the kid. Fucking pissed me off. And I had lost like a good quart and a half of blood from my nose during that time. And so when I went back onto the mat to fucking complete it, to keep going, I was so lightheaded and so dizzy that I couldn't fucking do anything. And the kid ended up pinning me. And that was like one of 3 times I ever got pinned. Like, I just didn't let people pin me, but so that was, a great way to start off my fucking wrestling career. But anyway, I don't even know where I was going with that, but it was just fucking funny and a shitty story. But you don't want to go into a match knowing that you're out of shape. So definitely push yourself, push your team, push your partner, that you have during practice to fucking step it up and to really just go. Because that will make a huge difference. Outside that, it's really just a matter of perfecting your technique. A lot of guys tend to rely on 1 or 2 main abilities in terms of takedowns. For me, I liked the good old-fashioned double leg. It worked well for me, and I was fast enough to make it work almost every time. The thing that I had issues with, which I got better at, but I was never amazing, was being able to get a good snap down or get a good, something to distract the guys and get their mind off the fact that I was about to do a double leg. I didn't advertise I was doing a double leg, but without a good snap down on them, it's tough to get in there every single time. And so I had issues with that, but I recommend finding 1 or 2 takedowns that you like and just absolutely perfect those. Learn the other ones, of course, because you never know when you might need them. Like, we learned a fireman's I think we call it just fireman's carry. You guys might have a different term, but basically where you grab their wrist, and I always use my left hand to grab their right wrist, and fucking pull them towards you, and then basically sweep under and hook your right arm, in my case right arm, under their junk, basically between their legs, and flip them over onto their back. And I would practice that, and I got okay with it, but it was never my favorite, and I ended up just finding myself in the perfect situation during a match, and I fucking rocked the fireman's, flipped him over, and pinned him. And it was an ability that I never really ever used. So, to me, that showed that it's good to practice every move that your coach may tell you. Is just to practice it and get familiar with it, because you never know when you'll need it. But learn those 1 or 2 takedowns and be able to do them anytime, day or night, when you're sleeping, when you're awake, be able to do them. And the same goes with getting up from the bottom. When someone goes out of bounds and you're on the bottom, you need to know how to get out of that, because getting out is an easy 1 point, or at least it was a point for me when I was in. I don't know if they've changed the what do you call it? The scaling of it, like the point system. There we go. But being able to get up from the bottom is huge, because if someone's able to overpower you there, it's very easy for them to get a pin. So knowing how to get up from the bottom is fucking huge, absolutely huge. Same goes with if you're on top, being able to hold somebody down, restrict them to the bottom, whether it's simply to prevent them from getting a point, because if you're up by a point and the match has 30 seconds left and you got them down, and you literally just need to hold them there. And if you can hold them there, you win. Knowing how to hold someone there is huge. Being strong plays a role in it, but knowing how people are going to move, how they're going to react, what their bodies are going to do is even more important. If you can basically expect, hey, this guy's he's gonna fucking do this, so this is how I counter it, and you can break their arms down and you can force them to stay down, then you're golden. So practice those. Like I said, find stuff that works for you and just go at it over and over and over again. Because if you look at some of the best wrestlers in the country, they are really good at one or two things. Like Cael Sanderson, for instance, he was all about the ankle pick. That's what he did. And everybody knew it was coming. They knew that's what he did. People practiced against it. But he was just so incredibly good at it that he could get that pick. And I'm pretty sure he got in practically every fucking match that he ever wrestled in. Because he was just so good at it and so dedicated that he destroyed it. And he fucking owned everybody. So try to get that good. Try to get that good with whatever move you find to work for you. But yeah. Alright, guys. I think that's pretty much it. I can't really think of a ton else at the moment. But if you do have any other questions on it, please let me know. And I will do what I can to answer you. But yeah. Alright, guys. If you have any questions or concerns, hit me up. And I'll see you in the next one. Semper Fi.